This is FanSpeak, a weekly live show where the fans of comics and its community are our guests. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show. We are here on what is this, February 19th for FanSpeak. This is going to be awesome. And of course, I'm joined by a bunch of great people. I'm joined by all of you as well. Please do us a favor and check out our links down below, particularly to our FanSpeak over on Facebook. That's a growing community, and there's a lot of really cool stuff there. Go check it out. But of course, we do appreciate your subs and likes and all those things. But we are live streamers, so what helps us the most is to hit that share button and let your family and friends and extended community know what's going on, so they can get over here with us and be live with it. Although I do appreciate all the people who listen after the fact. That's pretty cool. But nevertheless, today we're going to be talking to a creator. Of course, this is FanSpeak, our middle of the week show on Wednesday. I'm really enjoying the new format. Actually, I haven't got much response from you guys on what you think about it, but nothing negative is a positive, I suppose. For all of those of you who did come over yesterday and watched Bugbear's Basement and the kind of conclusion of the Moonshay Isles, I do appreciate it. That was a great episode. It was a great way to end the current chapter of the campaign anyway. So thank you for that. Also, do keep in mind that tomorrow we have, of course, our Drawn and Quartered Ultimate Edition, and we do have someone here that can help us out with that. He can give us a bit of information on it because, it's his show, and he is the most awesome of awesomeness that is the Pixel. Hey, Pixel.
Hey. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be interesting. For people that tuned in to the D&D show last time, this one's probably going to be a bit weirder and even more just off the wall. So we're taking a D&D style. Actually, I don't even know how you're going to handle this, to be completely honest. But I mean, we still kind of have to figure that out. It's D&D characters. So I have an idea, and I'm going to run it past you really quick.
All right.
We have D&D style characters
Mhm.
who get plucked from their universe and dropped into a wrestling arena, kind of like a Tournament of Champions thing like Marvel did.
Yep.
And they have to fight their way out. That's kind of how I was kind of envisioning it. Now, you can take it a whole different way if you want, but that's kind of how I thought it in my head. And so it's
same
drop
here.
kicks and dragons. Yeah, okay.
I am going to be the Grand Master tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'm gonna. I've been practicing to do my best Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. My wife says it sucks though, so oh well. But yeah, no, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Kumite. It's going to be in the house, and it's going to be pretty awesome.
Excellent.
So yeah, we're going to have fun with it. We're doing that kind of role playing art, draw along type of thing we did last time, which was fun.
Yep.
And it's a weird thing, but it's kind of cool at the same time. So definitely check that out,
Yeah,
guys.
it's a trip. It's a trip.
It is a
And
trip.
the cool part too is we have 3 new artists right now signed up that have never been
Sweet.
on the show.
There you go.
We might have a few more people, and then of course, we have Macho Dan coming in to be a co-host.
Is that confirmed?
So,
Is that confirmed?
absolutely confirmed. He's
All
going to
right,
be in.
all right. I
So
love me some Macho
you find
Dan.
her.
And can
Oh
he
yeah.
not be the co-host? Can he just simply replace Booster? That would make me happy.
You'd have to wrestle Booster for that one.
I don't have
He's
to
kind of
wrestle
oily. I
Booster.
don't
I'll
know if
just
you're going to be able to
direct
catch him.
him. That is my job. I direct him. Back to sleep with you. Anyway.
Well, he did get a job. He just got called to start weighing tomatoes again. So
He
who knows?
did.
He
So
might.
I'm kind of joking because probably we won't have Booster simply because he's working. He does that a couple months out of the year. Oh my God, I just said that. Nevertheless, it is true. But thank you very much, Pixel. We're going to check it out tomorrow, guys. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. But today we're here to talk to a guest. Before I can do that, I got to talk to my other people I got here. We also have the creator of Little Girl Lethal, and of course, Sugar Lightspeed, who I do believe we're having on the Drawn Quarter next week. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, it is the Slick Jimmy. What's up, dude?
How y'all doing? Not too much. Just dropping in.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, nice to have you here, man. We're going to be looking at a pretty fun project today, so it's nice to have another creator here to have some opinion and maybe some advice if necessary. So thank you very much for coming in here, Slick. And of course, last but certainly not least amongst the panelists, let me see. I have to warm myself up here. I have to do the old Miyagi-san. Okay. Okay, that's good. That hurts actually. I should stop doing that. All right. As we cross a plain of desolation, wrought with skeletal remains of the past, the ruin of time cannot stop that which rises into the sky. There, with lightning rippling through its absolute muscles, stands the man, the god, Thundero.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Just if I could be introduced like that everywhere, the world would be a better place.
It would be a better
I
place.
would make sure of it.
Yeah, I keep trying to outdo myself. Am I accomplishing in that? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, that one day was it. I had to pull out the big vocabulary word of splendiferous for
It,
it.
it was.
It was that good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, but I'm enjoying trying to outdo myself. It's good, It's good warming up from my DMingness. So
Yes. Yes.
So how you feeling today? What's up, man?
I am feeling wonderful. I feel a lot better than I had been. I think I beat the corona. I
Good.
think I've done it. I'm now officially a survivor. I'm going to get a T-shirt that says I survived it. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Feeling wonderful.
It's funny you say that, but I bet you in this absolute stupid world we live in, people would wear a shirt like that. I mean, they would. I mean,
Definitely.
the absolute
fact,
inanity
I
of
should get in front of this and make some money.
you should, dude. I mean, the inanity of modernity is absolutely insane, I think. But I can see people wearing that. I survived the corona. It's kind of like those idiots who walk around like, I had an abortion, yay. No.
Ugh.
Oh, I made it dark. I made it dark.
I'm gonna go design that shirt right
Yeah,
now.
you should. You should get
coronavirus
on
one,
that,
not the
dude.
other one.
Yeah, I survived I survived the kung flu. Uh oh. I really wish that would take off, and it didn't. The Mimi one that took off was the Wu flu, right?
Yeah.
Oh well. One day, China won't disappoint. They, they every 15 years they throw out a potential pandemic. So
I'll find some other animal you're not supposed to eat. And,
yeah, something like that. Something will happen. It'll happen. It was funny. Oh, this is so sad. I'm going to admit it, but I have to admit it. The other day, my wife and I were sitting here, and of course, I'm usually working on something, but she wants, wait, you want to watch a Netflix movie? And I'm like, sure, baby, sure. So she goes through and she looks and she finds something, and of course, Netflix being the absolute train wreck that they are, they took an old movie which was star-studded and no one ever watched, called Contagion, and threw it up on the Netflix because you got to make money somehow. So we watched it, and it was a pretty good flick actually. It's more of a docudrama, I'd say. It wasn't bad at all. But during the watching of that, my wife actually took her temperature.
Oh, I can hear it in your voice, Jeff.
Dude, I mean, I looked at her and I said, "Really, really?"
Did you say it in English or did you say it in Japanese?
Probably Japanese, I would assume. And like automatic, right? But anyway, enough of all of that. We definitely got ourselves an interesting panel here, and we're going to dive into this. So, what I need to do is come over here and say hello to who's in the chat, and then I'm going to say hello to our guest. So, let me see here. There we go. Hey, we got a bunch of people in here. Thank you guys very much. Do us a favor and hit that share button, though, and let people know, okay? We got Flying Saucer says hi. Yeah, we have Sheldon as well. Hey, what's going on, Sheldon? So definitely share that out, guys. But let me come over here and say hello to our guest. So, guest, this is Michael. How you doing, Michael?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm having a wonderful day. I've been pretty busy, but it's a sunny day, and I'm sitting here with a nice cup of hot coffee. Well, it's kind of hot, and with a bunch of friends talking about comic books. Oh man, how could it be better?
Exactly. And we're all coronavirus free for now, so let's enjoy it.
Well, I think Thundaro's lying. I think he's absolutely infected.
Probably,
tip to
we
toe.
probably all have it.
Yeah,
I think we all have it. It's just incubating in our system. So.
Hey, but at least there's a shirt you can wear. Something.
Exactly.
That's true. But anyway, Michael, what we need to do is we're going to be taking a look at your project here momentarily. Before we do that, we get new creators on here. We have kind of some standard questions we like to ask. First thing we want to know is you being a writer, how did you get into that? And second, Darren Lee, how did you find this indie revival community? So you can take them in any order you prefer.
Yeah, so I've pretty much always wanted to be a writer. You know, as far as like what medium I wanted to use, that's kind of, I've kind of gone back and forth. I wanted to write movies and TV and novels and all that stuff, but I always come back to comics. I think that's kind of my first love, at least as far as storytelling goes. I'm not
Mm,
sure why, but there's just something about writing comic books that's always kind of been my thing. So I kind of got drawn into the whole crowdfunding thing kind of naturally, when your boy Zach started making his videos in
mhm,
2017. I really resonated with what he was saying. He was kind of saying I've been feeling for years because I really didn't like the way the industry was going, the direction it was going, and the people that were kind of running the show. It was really kind of disheartening for somebody like me trying to break into the industry
mm,
when not only did it seemed like an impossible task to break into the industry, but more than anything, it was an industry that I didn't necessarily want to break into at that point because things had kind of gone off the rails, in my view. So when the Diversity in Comics channel popped up and he started saying the things that I had been thinking, it really felt kind of reassuring, and it kind of honestly it kind of rejuvenated my love for the medium because I had been I kind of had given up the industry for dead in a way. But having someone like Zach come along and kind of rejuvenate my love for the medium really got me back into comics. And then, of course, in 2018, um, kind of the crowdfunding scene blew up on Indiegogo, and obviously, being a writer, I definitely wanted to be a part of that. So I launched my first Indiegogo campaign, The Abductables, last year,
mhm.
uh, fairly successful, and so now I'm hoping to repeat the success this year with my new one.
Ah, sweet, dude. Yeah, that's a pretty standard road you just laid out there. A lot of us were Captain Cummins, Richard, and then Butterboy. It's the kind of standard path for everyone getting over here, and that's cool because it is a fun community, and there's a lot of really cool stuff coming out of it. And
Yeah,
happy to have you, dude. Happy to have you. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share your project, and we're going to dive into it. All right.
sounds good.
All right. Now, this right here, first things first, when did what is the inception of this project here? Grayscale.
Yeah, so like I said, last year I did a project called The Abductables, which was a sci-fi action comedy. But this time around, I always kind of knew, even while The Abductables was running, I knew that I wanted my next project to be a superhero book. It was just a matter of figuring out the right character and like what direction I wanted to take that idea in because part of the fun and part of the direction it seemed to me that the crowdfunding boom was going in was it almost felt like a revival of like what was great about the 1990s
Mm.
because it felt very similar to me, like the enthusiasm and you had all these independent artists kind of branching off and doing their own thing and going independent. It really felt to me kind of like the image revolution of the 1990s. So I kind of wanted to channel that energy even more directly and kind of put myself in the shoes of one of the image founders and kind of pretend that I was one of those guys back in 1992, launching my own creator-owned book and thinking, okay, if I was Todd McFarlane in 1992, what would my character be? Like, what
Mm.
would my edgy, anti-hero, that kind of that kind of edge lord hero that they had back in those days, what would my character be? And I came up with Grayscale. He's a trash talking vigilante with the power to control karma, and he likes to beat the crap out of bad guys. So if you're like me and you love those edge lord heroes of the 1990s, I think you'll dig what we have going on here with Grayscale.
Well, that sounds really good, and I'm glad you chose McFarlane over the Liefeld. That's a positive right there. So yeah,
Yeah, Todd's always been my favorite of the bunch. I'm a big Todd McFarlane fan, big Spawn fan,
yeah, well,
and
yeah, and I think he's probably the most successful. I think Jim is the
oh
most
yeah.
famous as far as comic book fans
Hmm.
go, but McFarlane is certainly the most successful. And it looks like he's going to be coming back with a remake of Spawn. I know that's been said every year for the past 30 years, but this time it looks like it's actually going to happen. So that's I'm excited about that. So okay, cool. So this is a kind of a '90s retro throwback. Nice, nice, nice. And now you kind of give us the general over idea of what a grayscale is, but you got to give us that elevator pitch about the character himself. What is he? How does he? What he controls karma, but is he a mutant? Is he magically created? Is he what is he?
Yeah, so I describe him as he's kind of like in the vein of like a street level character in a way, kind of like Daredevil or Moon Knight,
Okay,
in the sense that he is down on the streets, cracking skulls with his trusty truncheon. But and I think that does make a nice contrast with his mystical based powers, I guess you could say. So he's not a mutant or anything like that. He is a regular human being who just happens to have the mystical ability to see people's karma, which helps him find the bad guys. And there's a lot of bad guys in Glitter City, which is a fictional version of Las Vegas,
ooh,
kind
Glitter
of
City. I
Las
like it.
Vegas.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
Las
Yeah.
Vegas cranked up to 11, so it's home to a whole bunch of crazy supervillains for him to fight. And yeah, so his powers are kind of mystical in origin. They're kind of and I think that does make a nice contrast because he is almost like a working class street level guy who just happens to have these you know uh mystical powers from above, and we will get into how exactly those powers work, like how do you actually weaponize karma,
Sure.
how do you use that as a superpower. But yeah, in the most basic sense, he uses it to find the bad guys because he can see everybody's karma, so he knows if you've been bad or good, so to speak. And yeah, he acts accordingly.
Now I get the joke with grayscale, but how did that come about? What's the naming convention here?
Yeah, it's got a few different meanings. Obviously, he's decked out in grayscale, and he can when he enters what I call the gray state, he can actually, when he sees people's karma, his vision actually turns into grayscale, so he sees literally everything in black and white. And of
Oh,
course, good karma is represented as white, and bad karma is represented as black. And he's kind of the shade of gray in between. And of course, the K in his name does stand for karma, and scale kind of represents the scales of justice. So got a whole bunch of different meanings packed into that name. Um, and yeah, he is the shade of gray. So, like I said, he is kind of a, I guess you could describe him as an anti-hero. He sometimes takes things a little too far. He probably enjoys breaking bones and bloodying people up a little too much at times, but I think his heart's in the right place. But I guess we'll have to see because we're gonna put him in a lot of interesting moral quandaries and see how he acts. So
well, that's cool. That's
should
cool.
be interesting.
And I'm assuming you chose the spelling of Gray because his name is something gray instead of spelling it Grey. I'm kind of assuming you did that, right? That's a twist on the name. Is like his name is John Gray or something like that.
No, I just you know, yeah, some people have asked me about that. I just, I'm a red-blooded American, so we spell it with an A. Uh,
I
I
see.
know
I get. No, I get.
the
I get you. I get you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I could have gone with the E, but I thought that was just a, choice on my part. But
No, no, no. It's no
yeah.
big deal. I just kind of assumed there was some kind of like a name pun in there. But
Oh no,
cool.
no, no, yeah.
Now
Well,
the
we do have a kind of a name pun. His first name is Ash, so I
uh-huh,
guess
huh.
that is
All right, there
yeah.
you go. There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Well, the next question, of course, that needs to be asked, and then what I'm going to do is see if the chat has anything to ask, and of course, going to let the panel ask you any questions or interact with you as well. But my last important question, of course, is who's the artist?
Yeah, so on line art we have a fellow named PK, fairly new to the Western comic scene, but he did do a previous Indiegogo Palette of Dusty Tortillas, which was a Western book. But I think this is probably his biggest, most high profile book today. But as you can see, he does a great job. He's got that really cool style with a lot of exaggerated features that I kind of wish that modern comics had that we've kind of gotten away from. The men are all really buff and the women are all very busty. So it's a nice throwback to the way comics used to look, in my opinion.
Mm,
And then we've got Eugene Bativu on colors, who does a phenomenal job. He really captures the bright lights of the Las Vegas inspired city that we're going for here. So really proud of the creative team. And yeah, we do have the first 5 pages of the book fully colored and lettered for
yeah,
people to read.
yeah.
So if
I've
you
been
like
going
the
through it.
concept,
Which
yeah, if you
which is
want to,
cool, which is cool. Yeah, I think the colors are pretty good. The art is okay. However, I would say the thing that is good about the art is the this what's the artist's name again?
PK.
PK. His sequential aspect of his art is actually pretty good. There is good storytelling here in the sequentials and stuff like that. And yeah, I think the coloring is actually pretty good. But yeah, awesome, dude. And I love the fact that you have text in there. A lot of times we get pictures and pages, but there's no text. You got to throw, yeah,
Mhm.
that's most important for selling it. I get it. Art is going to sell the book and the writing will bring them back. I understand that, but I personally really like to see a little bit of the storytelling in there. So good on you for that, dude. Now let me jump over here real quick to the chat and see if they have any questions. And while I'm doing that, one of you guys have any questions or interactions here for Michael?
Where'd this character come from? I mean, you kind of said so, but like the idea of all the gray and everything here. The reason why I asked that is because I'm basically colorblind. So a
Mm.
character who sees the world in gray is interesting.
Yeah, so I always kind of wanted to the idea of using karma as a superpower always kind of appealed to me, so it was just a matter of kind of figuring out the right character to use that power.
Hmm.
The idea of karma mixed with kind of the inspiration of like the edgy anti-heroes of the 1990s, those two ideas just kind of merged together, and the ideas just started kind of piling on top of each other. I always thought grayscale was a cool word, so I probably it just once all these elements kind of came together, it made perfect sense. Because like I said, all those different meanings within the word grayscale, and then of course the K stands for karma and all that stuff. So it really all just kind of came together, and it's a lot of serendipity and stuff like that. But yeah, and plus you know. I like to play with like the visuals. So yeah, since good and evil are often represented as black and white morality, I thought it would be interesting to play with that like literally. So yeah, he does kind of see the black and white of the world, and he is the shade of gray in between. So there's a lot of room for interesting juxtaposition and symbolism and all that good stuff.
I like it. I like
Cool.
it.
All right, got a couple questions here from the chat. Sheldon Martin says, "Is his suit powered by anything?"
No, it's kind of in the vein of like Daredevil, or even a little bit of Batman in the sense that he is pretty heavily armored, but so he can take some bullets to the chest and all that, but it's only going to protect him so much. So he he is just flesh and blood underneath that suit, and he's gonna get his ass kicked a lot of the time, and as many bones as he breaks, he's probably gonna break a few of his own. So he's gonna have a hell of a time fighting some of these super powered villains.
Well, as any good street level hero should, right? Let's see
Exactly.
here. Eric Hawkins says, I like the gray backgrounds and the speech bubbles. The lettering is really good. Yeah, I agree with that. Now, I'm assuming, because you didn't mention separately, the artist is doing the lettering as well?
No, actually, we brought on
Oh,
a
you did.
professional letterer this time.
Uh-huh.
I thought a guy named James Reed. He's
Oh,
kind of an
thank God.
industry veteran.
It's not Eric Weathers.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
good.
yeah, Eric Weathers can't do everything.
That's true.
But yeah, I really, I lettered my previous book, The Abductables, myself, but this time around, I really wanted to bring on a pro, especially because, like that person said in the chat, I wanted to give Grayscale kind of unique word balloons, kind of like, Deadpool or Rorschach. I always love when characters have those unique word balloons. So,
Mhm.
just something to give them a little more personality, and I think it really paid off because it looks great.
Awesome. Anybody else got questions here from Michael?
I like the sexiness in the background.
Yeah, no, we all appreciate that. That's for sure. That is for
Yeah,
sure.
that's kind of
Yeah.
PK's forte, and with his art style, he loves drawing the beautiful women. So,
Awesome.
Ain't
Well,
nothing wrong with that.
and nothing wrong with that. We got Rebel Comics course in here. Hello, and Sheldon Martin says, "Can he see the bad things people did, or does he interpret the values of gray?" Ooh, that's kind of interesting question.
yeah. So, one of the fun things about the book is that Grayscale is fairly new to his crime fighting career, so he's still kind of learning his powers as he goes. So, while at the start of the series, he can only see the good or bad karma, but he can't actually see why people have that bad karma. That's
Mm,
kind of something that he'll grow into later. But so he is kind of just assuming the worst of people, and it kind of goes with his personality though, because he's not really interested in why someone does what they do. Like in his mind, as long as if they've got the bad karma, he's just going to beat the crap out of them, and he's not that interested in knowing the why. So
mm.
yeah, it kind of ties into his personality, but actually seeing like what they've done, that'll be something he learns
Mhm.
eventually.
Well, that's a really good idea. We don't see enough of that. The hero kind of learning in to his abilities. That we
Hmm.
I think it's a good idea, and you should push that as much as possible. And we do have a statement from Eric Hawkins. He says, "Ooh, it better not have been the fake Eric." It's not. It's not. It's James Reed. So it's all good. It's all good. But I. Actually, I have a character of my own that I've been working up, and I call him Trench Hammer. Copyright pending, you bastards. All right, but yeah, and it's a very similar. Of course, the background is extremely different, but very similar type of character as far as just absolutely brutalizes the enemy. And
Hmm.
that's coming for me. That's coming from the Moon Knight tradition. I love Moon Knight and his raw
Yes.
brutality.
Yeah, I'm a big Moon Knight fan myself, and there's definitely a lot of Moon Knight inspiration for Grayscale here.
There is one suggestion I have because overall I liking what I'm seeing. I like the story ideas. I think the art is fine. I like the sequentials. The lettering is really good. The coloring is really good. So it's good, good points here. One thing I would say to you offhand, though, in this one that I'm focused on right here, which is kind of his introduction page, it says Grayscale. See, you ruined it, or he's making some kind of joke. But it actually, because the red K is not distinguished enough, it looks like you're saying Gray's Ale, which could be cool. But I don't think that's
Mm,
what you want. You need to put a black line around that, or you need to do something to pull that K out so that it should be the most dynamic thing in the name. Whereas your eye automatically just runs over it, and we see Gray's Ale, especially because that black line that's going right behind the Y and the S, it makes it seem like an apostrophe. So I mean, the brain just
that
automatically is seeing this, so you need to fix that. But otherwise, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that. Are you colorblind as well? Because
Oh no, I am perfection itself. No, I'm not. It's surprising me how many people in the comic book fandom, not only artists but just fans as well. It's surprising how many are colorblind. Actually, I've met what 4 or 5 over here. It's
Mhm,
pretty interesting to me that a very colorful medium draws people who have trouble seeing color. Hmm.
mhm.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hopefully this project appeals to the colorblind community. We welcome all our colorblind readers for sure.
Absolutely, for they are handicapped.
Yes.
Yes,
Well, you see, Chester, I'm so awesome. I had to have something wrong with me.
that's true.
So
That
God,
is
you
true.
you just don't get to see color. Everything else, no color though.
There you go. That's
That's what
fine. That's
I'm going
fine.
with.
Yeah, you'll take that. The whole lightning from your ass. It's pretty cool. So
That's
yeah,
right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
why not?
I have been looking at it, and I haven't mentioned it, but I can't not mention it anymore. Peter Simeti sketch card. Yeah, we're gonna come back and talk about that later, but that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
one of our pieces of original art that we're selling. So.
Oh yeah, that's cool, dude. All right, rock on. So yeah, is there any other questions we have for Peter or any things that not Peter, I just my brain. Any other questions we have here from Michael or anything else you'd like to say, Michael, before we jump over do a little bit of news and then come back and look at your perks?
No, yeah, I think hopefully people are digging what they're seeing in the chat. Yeah, but yeah, now I'm worried about that logo because yeah, I had Brandon Diaz design that for me from Magic Cop, and I've
Yeah.
gotten rave reviews for the logo, but yeah, that's the first time I've heard someone say that they can't see the red K.
Yeah, no, I can see it. It's just your brain automatically is going over it. I mean, sometimes when you're creating a visual, not sometimes, all the time, when you're creating a visual, you need to think about how humans work, right?
Mhm.
And this is one of those situations. I now maybe a colorblind person would have trouble seeing it, which adds a whole nother layer of troublesomeness to it. But me, I can see it. It's just it is behind. I think the logo design is fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It looks cool. I'm just saying you need to pull that red K out so it doesn't the brain doesn't automatically do that. It's just you have that's not even a suggestion. You must do that, dude. Right?
One way.
Has anybody else in the chat, did they have the same problem?
Oh, I definitely do. But red's actually the color I can see the best, so I could see
Mhm.
it, but I had to really look at it to see what it was.
Mm.
But
What
one
about
thing
you, Pixel?
one thing you could do to simple is put a little outline around it and just make the K bigger. Make the
Yeah.
K bigger than the other
Mm,
letters, and it'll break up the monotony of the font. That way, because that's what happens is when you're reading something, it happens all the time. You don't even realize you're doing it. You're
Mhm.
basically hypnotizing yourself to skip over things that are the same. So that's how you can read things and completely miss something in a line, because
mm,
doing it over and over again gets repetitive. So your brain is kind of trained to do that as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Get the
That's
information
right.
there and translate it. And if
right.
something looks out of place or blends, you'll just miss it altogether.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm just it is what it is. I think it's a cool logo though. I don't have any trouble with the logo at all. It's just you need to
Yeah, I think
fix that
it's good.
K.
Mm.
Because even the more I look at it, the worse it is. It really looked like I'm Grayskale, which could be a cool character. I'd be all on board for that. You should talk to Cecil. That sounds like something he'd
It
be
should
into.
be his Bizarro
Maybe,
character. Great.
maybe
Yeah.
we can have a tie-in to an alcoholic beverage and the merchandise and
There you
everything.
go.
Get
Yeah,
powers
yeah,
when he's
yeah,
drunk.
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh?
Pixel,
Yes,
Pixel.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say just touch up the K a little bit. Yeah. Throw a little bit of uh, an outline or something and just make it a little bit larger. But I designed a shirt. I have it on my
Uh-oh.
site. And I think I'm going to have
Uh-oh.
to
Goodness gracious.
share it out shortly.
Are you ready to share? Oh, you are sharing. Hold on a second. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh no.
I know. Boo blue.
It's an Asian model.
I love it, dude. I love it. It is perfect.
And if you pay attention right here, that's the kanji for flu. Not kanji, but what's the
S
Chinese name for the
s
characters?
s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, actually, this is this word this the kanji's fine. This character that you're looking at is more of a word for a general, I would say plague. Actually, I
Well,
would.
that works then too.
Yeah,
I will stick with that. Google Translate doesn't always get it right, but close enough, right?
yeah, no, it works
I
just
do.
fine. Although I think
I do
the
have
Asians
other.
would kind of look at you sideways, but
Well,
that happens
are they going to be
all
looking
the
at me at all?
time, dude. Yeah,
Because
the perfect example for me is when people put tattoos, Asian character tattoos on their body, which is stupid
Mhm.
unto itself. But I saw this while I was working in this strip club. And there was this, oh, she was a sexy thing, dude. But she had on the back of her neck, it wasn't a tramp stamp. She had one of those too. But on the back of her neck, she had this kanji up there, and she thought it meant like wild, crazy, type of thing was what she was going for. But of course, what said was, "I am insane," as in I am a crazy person, right? So
That's pretty much every stripper, right?
pretty much, yeah. Well, strippers, man, they come in two flavors. You get the absolute dumb as a brick, and you have the girl trying to work her way through college. That's kind of what you
Yeah,
get in the
I
stripper world.
I knew a girl named Alexandra in Salt Lake City,
Uh-huh,
Alexandria,
uh-huh.
and she was in medical school, and she
Yeah,
put herself through medical school, and she
dude, they
was. I
make
met
a
her up.
lot of
I
money.
I'm. I met her up at Brighton Ski Resort. I was skiing. She was snowboarding. We rode up on a lift. Got to be friendly, and eventually I found out she was a stripper. And
Mm.
yeah,
Mhm, mhm. But to be fair, if you want, this is
no,
this
no,
is
no
Bugbear's
tats on
advice.
that girl though.
Ah, well, that can be sexy too. But this is Bugbear's advice, so you all know, and can take this to heart. Write it down. Write it down. If you want a fun night, go with the dumb one. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Most certainly. Yeah, because those girls are a bit wild. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, so thank you very much, Michael. Now what we're going to do is we're going to
That's
look at a
that's uh
yeah.
that's how Chester got his first kid and his first set of crabs.
We don't talk about that. But all right, let's go. We're going to look at a little bit of news, and we're going to come back and check out the perks here in Grayscale. So Michael, stick around and feel free to interject, dude. You are welcome to have an opinion. All right. So all
There
right,
you
let's
go.
see. What do we got? We got a couple little bits of newses today. So who's going to be my reader? I need a reader.
Well, you have the sexiest voice
I
in
know.
all of
I know.
YouTube here,
I
and
know.
you're asking that question.
I
Of course, it's
know.
going to be Slick.
Come
Of
on,
course, it
Slick.
is.
Read it out.
Okay, fine. The rise of the shields. The rise of the shield hero, Raftalia, wins Crunchyroll's Best Girl Award.
Ooh, best girl, best girl. Now this is for the anime weebs out there, for all of you Dai Makura people, and Crunchyroll, which is in itself a controversy. It has, of course, their 2020 Anime Awards, and I just thought it'd be cool to look at the things that were nominated, and I thought that was, or won actually. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to go through that. Best animation, Mob Psycho 102. Now, Mob Psycho is I actually like. My kids are always trying to find some kind of anime that I will enjoy and we can watch together. And this is one of the ones I really get a kick out of. I do like Mob Psycho 100. Of course, for a best fight scene, we have Tanjiro and Nezuko versus Rui in Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. And I have not seen Demon Slayer myself, although from looking at this earlier, I think I might have to check it out. Of course,
Yeah, I actually just started watching that one. It's really good.
yeah,
Really
again,
nice
yeah,
animation.
it looks cool, and it's getting all these awards. We have best couple. Why that's a thing, but hey, it's anime. So we have Kaguya Shinomiya and Miyuki Shirogane, and
Interesting.
Kaguya-sama, Love is War. That's interesting. Yeah. Uh, all
That
right.
style for Demon Slayer looks a lot like George Oxopoulos'
Oh, I
work.
see what I was doing. I was doing it wrong. So, best character design, Satsushi Iwataki, original character design. Okay, so Doro, I don't know. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Here's Mob Psycho, here's Demon Slayer, and then here is Love is War. And that doesn't look so interesting to me. This one right here, best girl. Ooh, best girl. Raftalia in the Rising of the Shield Hero. That's another one. Anyone know this one? I haven't seen this at all.
Nope.
Haven't watched that one.
Never seen it. Don't know it.
I like the color scheming going on. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
All I know about that one is that it pissed some feminists off for some reason. I'm not sure why, but yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, I'll go watch it.
So that
Good.
means it must be good.
Then I'm watching. It has to be good then.
Yeah.
Anything that pisses off feminists, anybody who complains constantly about men and their male gaziness, yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
can
I don't
go
know. It's kind of got to the point
self-immolate.
that a stiff wind upsets them, dude. I don't really know what to tell you.
That's right.
But best boy. Why we don't want to need a best boy, best girl.
Ooh.
No problem. Best boy. Booster's not here, but we have Tanjiro Kamado in Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. All right. Best opening sequence. Well, Mob Psycho is very interesting because the art from this is a very common theme. The original manga that came out, it's kind of like One Punch Man or One Punch Man. The art here in Japan, the creator is the artist, the writer, the letterer, the everything. Right? They actually kind of don't understand how you have 5, 10 people working on a single book, and then it goes on and another team works on the same character. This is very bizarre for the Japanese. But the artistic ability of the guy who did Mob Psycho was pretty bad. So when they came out, the same thing they did with Wanpaman, when it came out, they had the character done in the style of the artist to, kind of showing respect to the character, to the writer. But everything else was done phenomenally. And some of the action sequences, the artistic aspect of the artistic sequences in Mob Psycho is crazy. I mean, it's some of the best I've ever seen. Actually,
Oh
it's
yeah.
insane, dude. So Mob
I just
Psycho.
love the concept of the book too. I mean, the story is funny as hell.
Yeah, no, it is. It is funny. Yeah, I like Mob Psycho actually. It's pretty cool. Best ending sequence. Oh goodness, it's gonna be some kind of a girl song, I'm sure. Chikato chika chika in Kaguya-sama. Love is War. That was quick one pass. Best performance by voice actor. Now this is an English aspect of it, I'm assuming. We have Billy Kometz. I don't know this guy's name offhand. As Kaofume in The Rising of the Shield here. Okay. Best performance by voice actor Yuichi Nakamura as Bruno Bucchiarati, I guess Bucchiarati in JoJo. Oh God, I hate JoJo. Best fantasy, The Promised Neverland. I don't know that one either. There's a lot of stuff I'm not up to date. Best comedy, it's a lie. That is a lie. Best drama, Vinland Saga. Now that's one I definitely got to check out. Have you guys seen Vinland Saga yet?
I haven't, but I need to. I keep forgetting about it, to be
That
honest.
sounds cool, dude.
Is that about Scandinavians, Vinland?
It must be Scandinavians in the Americas, right? I mean, Vinland Saga is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That art reminds me of
How dare the Japanese culturally appropriate?
Scroll.
How dare they?
How dare they? Indeed. Yeah. They don't understand that whole cultural appropriation thing. That baffles them. Go ahead,
As they
Pixel.
shouldn't, and then anybody else shouldn't understand that either.
Go ahead, Pixel.
No, I was just saying the artwork kind of reminds me of like Ninja Scroll or something. It's got
A little bit, yeah, that's true. That is true.
Coloration and yeah, it's interesting there.
Ninja Scroll's badass. That's a blast from the past right there. Best director Tetsuro Arakai and Masashi Koizuka for Attack on Titan. It's another interesting concept with Attack on Titan. Maki for Carol and Tuesday. Oh God. Best score. Oh no, I've seen this one before. Yeah, that we don't need that. Best protagonist Senku in Doctor Stone. That's another one I haven't checked out. More of this awards to them. So there we go. A bunch of stuff I want to check out though, because if I can find a good anime, I enjoy it. The problem is I can't. I don't like anime art very much, and I don't like the stupid stuff. Which is a lot of anime is kind of full of.
What's the stupid stuff that you're referring to?
Oh, like senpai.
Oh yeah, that stuff. You know what really throws me out of the storylines of a lot of anime, and well, it's chibi stuff. In the middle of this really very serious moment, and it's dramatic, and then all of a sudden you'll have a character just jump into chibi shape, and you're just like, what? It's just, I know it's just Japanese, but it's weird.
It is culture. I mean, and they have tropes over here that it's actually interesting for me because, I had the same Western concept as everybody else, right? And then I live here and I realized that a lot of things we think are one thing are actually a very different thing from the Japanese point of view. But it doesn't really matter, I suppose, but it's well, interesting. Moving on. Oh no. Do I want to cover this one? Oh no. Oh my God. Coronavirus has got him. Go ahead. Slick. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Coronavirus shuts down multiple anime productions and Japan's major cosplay event, Nipponbashi Street Festa. I don't know if I
Nipponbashi just means Japanese street.
Nipponbashi. Okay. Nipponbachi. All right, interesting. I don't know what that means. So there's not going to be a cosplay event.
No.
They're shutting it down.
No, yeah, and a lot of things are being shut down in Japan. Now, the Japanese have done a really good job of how they've been handling it. Actually, there has been some Chinese paid-for nonsense going against the Japanese, which of course just shows even more levels of corruption from the WHO. I mean that they need to be taken down. We need a revolution against those bastards. But Japan actually has done a pretty good job. I think they could have done a few things slightly differently, but they're being ultra cautious as the Japanese are, and therefore they really don't want to have any spread of this in Japan. Even though you see large numbers in Japan, it's actually all of it sitting on one big giant ship in the Yokohama harbor. It's
Yeah.
not Japan itself isn't flooded with it. So Japanese are really being careful about that, and they're shutting everything down possibly that's anywhere even near a flu person was, and therefore we're seeing this. And there's a lot of worry in Japan whether the Olympics is going to go off or not, actually. And that's the reason why I brought this up because we're seeing effects, right? We're seeing a lot of effects from this coronavirus worldwide. I think we're seeing a lot of economic effects. China, I don't know if you guys understand this, but China's production and their overall, economic output is down 80%. 80%. I mean, Japan is like 6 or 7% down, which is awful. It's awful. But 80%? Holy
How
dude,
can we? How are we going to get all of our tchotchkes?
right?
You know, the Chinese government developed the coronavirus to stop the protests, but it seems like it kind of backfired, and it might actually bring down the government in a weird way.
Yeah,
Wow.
well,
Here's hoping.
it
Chinese
was.
government is extraordinarily incompetent.
Yeah, it is, and
Yeah.
it's just a giant monolith of a bureaucracy. But
Yeah.
yeah, and it looks like it accidentally got out. Yeah, but it is what it is. That's what you get. You play with fire, bitches. All right. Now, do I want to talk about this one? I think I might want to talk about this one because I only can talk about one more real quick. No, I got to talk about this one. It's got to be this one. It has to be this one. All right, go ahead.
All right. New rumor details Spider-Woman film in the works, with Sony eyeing Alicia Vikander to
Vikander.
star.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Now I love me some
Man.
Spider Woman.
Vikander.
Yeah. I love me some Spider Woman, and there could be a lot of cool things in there. I think the name of her is a little bit unfortunate because it make people think Peter Parker, and of course she has nothing to do with it whatsoever. I was kind of hoping they would have a Vikander picture in here. I do apologize.
I love me some Monera Spider-Woman. We could use that.
No, we're talking about Spider Woman. Spider Woman.
No, Monera. You remember the? Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. I'm judging people here. Hold on a second. Maybe,
Eh,
maybe,
eh,
maybe.
eh.
She looks angry though. Can we find a smiley picture? Oh, here's one.
Eh.
I thought she was older.
Maybe she's just aging well, unlike Margot Robbie. Ooh, ow.
No, I meant the character, not her specifically.
Well, it depends on when they do it, right? They could do her when
Yeah.
she's with Hydra, right? I'm sorry. Did you have a problem with
Yeah.
my sideways shade there, Thundero?
No, I never ever have a problem with sideways shade.
That's
It's
not
the best
same.
kind.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no,
I don't
all
know.
right. I'm
I
not.
don't-
I'm
I
fine
don't
with
know.
it. We'll see. We'll see.
I think Vikander's a made up last name.
It might be. Does anyone know if this girl can act at all? Any concept on that?
Is she the one that played Lara Croft?
I don't know. Maybe. Let me check her IMDb or DB here. Let's
Oh,
see here. Tomb Raider
Oh,
2.
yeah. I
Yep,
mean,
yep, yep. That was a pretty bad movie. Okay, don't know any of this. Don't know any of this. She does a lot of I'm a sexy girl and a sexy scene stuff. All right, fine. Ex Machina. Oh, she played the robot in Ex Machina. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I don't
she's
find her
pretty.
that. I don't find her that attractive, in my opinion. I mean,
Nah,
she's
but
not bad,
maybe
but I
that's a
mean,
good thing though. Yeah. Well, I don't know. She's starting to get a little bit of a name for herself though. She is kind of growing here. A lot of unknown crap, but she's building. The Laura Croft reboot of Tomb Raider was pretty horrible though. But
uh,
yeah, all right. We'll see. Because me personally, I would love to see a really cool Spider Woman. But anyway, that's cool. Let's come back over here and check these perks because we are on a very tight schedule today. Now, first things first here, Michael, I am loving the fact that you have a featured up here. Good on you for doing that. And this is Donald DeLay, of course, original art. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about this one.
Yeah, so Donald DeLay, I'm sure you're all familiar with him. He's done a few projects at this point. Cash Grab, Vestige, and Brutus the Badass. But yeah, so if you know him, you know he mostly works digital. So the fact that we actually have a original piece of physical artwork from him, 11 by 17 Bristol board, is a pretty big get. So if you with this perk, you'll not only will you get the original art, but it also comes with a copy of the book and the ash can. So I think it's a great deal if you want to own a piece of original artwork.
It's cool, and that's $350. Now, like I said, I really like that you have a featured up here, and I get that you want to feature and sell this one, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. Although the featured is usually that kind of that mid-level tier that you want to sell the most of. But I get what you're doing here. It's fine. It's fine. And of course, Donald DeLay is a cool artist, so that's neat. Glad you got the hold of that, dude. Now, of course, we come down to our first actual run here. Digital copy for $10. I'm very happy that you're actually charging some money for it. I think people undersell the digital copy a lot.
Hmm.
So awesome. Good for you for doing that. But let's come into our actual first physical copy here for $15. Tell us a little bit about what comes with this package.
Yeah, so for $15, you get the full 60-page comic, bagged and boarded and shipped in a Gemini mailer. And yeah, it's and any physical copy does come with that digital copy as well. So
Mm.
if you can, I would recommend bagging physical. But yeah, so
Yeah,
for
well, it
$15, you get that 60 pages.
sounds like someone's been paying attention with the Gemini mailer, right? So good on
Yeah,
you
I
for that,
will.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I will never use anything but Gemini mailers. It's
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of people screw that up, so good on you for doing that. Of course, we have the ubiquitous double double. So awesome, and this just comes with two and everything as above. This for over a year. While looking at these Indiegogos, it seems to be a very popular selection. Actually, it's very popular.
mm,
All right, we have a
I like
bulk
the
order.
icon for that too. The icon is definitely nice. If you go back, here's the nice two physical copies you got there.
Huh?
the
You're
boob
not
joke.
catching that? The boob joke, two physical copies.
Oh, I get. Oh, yeah. No, okay. I'm
Ah,
being an idiot. Sorry, I don't go to teenage humor automatically. Pixel. I do
Well, you
apologize.
should. Also, a quick question: are the aliens a nod to abductables?
Yes, that was kind of my wink and nod to my previous work. Yeah, so I gave the casino robbers in the opening scene alien masks. So
Awesome.
just another
I
another
le-
shout out.
I thought they were just I just thought they were aliens, so that's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's good to
I mean,
have
I'm not
Easter eggs,
ruling
man.
out that yeah, we might have real aliens. Who knows? I mean, he does exist in a superhero universe, so anything's possible.
Mm,
Right?
mm, mm. I do like the dress on that one girl here on the right. Yeah, I dated a girl who had a dress like that. Boy, did she drape that thing. Anyway, so you go ahead, bulk order. This is for the stores, of course. And then
Chester's
we
wife
have.
must not be there.
No, she's not. No, she is not. That is true. That is true. But of course, we talked about this earlier with a Peter Simeti sketch. Now, how did you get Peter on board?
Yeah, that's so Peter's been doing a bunch of these sketch cards. So you might have seen some of these floating around on Twitter. So
Hmm.
I definitely wanted to get in on the action and have him actually draw my character Grayscale. So yeah, getting him to do it was pretty easy. Of course, I made sure to get his blessing before I actually sold it on the campaign page. And yeah, so not only will you get the original piece of signed art by Peter Samedi, of course, the founder of Alterna Comics,
Hmm.
but this also does come with a copy of the book. And I should say the sketch card is really nice. It comes in a plastic slipcase, and it's got some cool stats and stuff like that on the back. So definitely, it's definitely worth the value for sure.
Yeah, neat, neat. And of course, Peter is very copacetic, dude. So that's awesome. Art
Yeah.
commission with book. Ooh, what's this?
Yeah, we actually we just added this about a day ago. So yeah, Grayscale artist PK, he'll do a digital commission of whatever character you wish, and this does come with a physical copy of the book. So if you want to get him to draw a character of your choosing, definitely get in on this, and we'll get send that out to you as soon as possible. Yeah,
Mm.
there's only 5 of these available.
Oh, well, all right. And I do notice in the art he is showing the international symbol of motherly Congress. Why? The girls seem to like it though. The girls seem to like it. Maybe it's an
He,
innuendo. All right.
he's a bad boy.
He's a bad boy. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Get drawn into the boat.
Yeah, so if you want to be a character in the book, if you want to have your likeness drawn into the book and interact with one of our villain characters seen in the thumbnail there, you can do so. We've only got one slot available. Two have already been claimed, so don't miss your chance to be a character in the book and be immortalized in a comic.
Are there any restrictions on that? Like, for instance, do you have any problem with the short, balding, fat, hairy foot men?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so booster's good.
And
All right, all right.
actually, the uglier the better because it makes for interesting visuals. So
That is fair. That is fair. Oh, looky there. That kind of looks like me a little bit. Executive producer. What's going on with this?
So yeah, this the main thing here is that you'll actually get your name listed on the credits page and on the front cover as part of the creative team.
Mhm.
And in addition to that, you'll get one of everything. You'll get the ash can, the sketch card. You'll get a digital commission. You'll get 4 copies of the book, including the proof copy, and all that good stuff. So yeah, this is kind of like our ultimate perk for 200.
Sweet. All right, guys. Well, there it is. That is Grayscale. Some really cool art. He's already up to $3,000 here. He's got 7 days left. He looks like he's about almost 60%. So definitely get over there and check that out. We're going to drop our link in the chat, of course. One of my moderators, please take care of that. And at least go over and share it out. Get more eyes on it. That's the least we can do. And of course, if you're liking it, definitely back it. There is a digital version of it, so you can do that. So check it out, guys. It's a cool looking book. But I'm going to let Michael go. He has another show he needs to jump onto. So thank you very much for coming here, Michael. Cool looking project, dude. I love the idea. Love the sequentials. So best of luck to you, man.
Yeah,
And
thank you
yeah.
so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's good talking to you.
Oh no, anytime, dude, anytime. All right, guys. So we're going to let Michael go so we can go do his thing, and we're going to go ahead and finish up the show here today. Of course, that means that keep in mind that tomorrow, of course, is drop kick in dragons. I do believe is what we're calling it, and we're going to have ourselves a D&D theme wrestling kumite, baby. It's going to be a lot of fun. But of course, I do want to come and let everyone have their final words. Thundero, sir.
My final words are, yeah, I really like this Grayscale project. I like the idea of just the whole concept of it's really neat. So anybody who looking for something cool to back it. Other than that, I'll see you guys on Sunday.
Yeah.
TFT.
Yeah, what are we talking about this week on TFT?
Did we pick something?
I don't think so. We should.
No.
What are we going to pick?
Here's what we should do.
Uh,
We should just do a surprise show.
yeah,
They won't see it coming.
yeah, but you don't want to surprise me.
Well,
Talking about stuff and things.
we have other means of communicating than live.
That's true. That's true. Kinda. But all right, we need to make a decision. We'll come out and we're going to do something on TFT, of course. We'll have a lot of fun with it. So rock on. Thank you very much, Thundero. And of course, today I'm going to let Pixel Nama say us out because he is one of the greatest wordsmiths you've never heard from. So what's up, Slick?
Just chilling out, trying to finish my damn comic. For those of you who don't know, I do have a comic called Little Girl Lethal currently in the in-demand store on Indiegogo. If you guys want to go check it out, you can still get a copy if you feel so inclined. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, sweet, dude. And of course, that Little Girl Lethal looks absolutely awesome. I got to see a little bit more behind the scenes stuff the other day. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Titillating to be sure. And of course, we are going to end ourselves out today. We appreciate you guys being here. You know, we love you. And we're going to keep banging away and having fun here as we always do. But today, we're going to be namasteed by the very I Know Wu Flu. Incredibly culturally inappropriate Pixel Trader.
Yes. Well, first up, you can find me online. If I'm not here, I'm probably working on indiecron.com, which is a great place for you to find lots of independent comics created by wonderful creators like Mr. Michael Derrick, Slick here, and many others that have joined us on the show. But yes, today, my words of wisdom are what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, so know your enemy. I know Wu Flu.
It's true. He know Wu Flu. That is awesome. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Later.
Adios.